Ia, fia le anganga ma le loto toi whatalo whatu sa molo mai mo whafonga mai ni tu la o le afia fi. Ia, whela wari tu le langi i ana tawha i fia lo e mawa me ne whasau longa. Ia, mato te ofo o lo whatu ma whatalo whatu. I le swafa man malo o le tato li whaolo Yesu Kariso. Ia, whatalo whatu fo le mato o wa. La fionga ia o mua to o vaenga. Ia whapea fo le fionga ia ai lupotea ofisa chini tanu. Ia marole se fo mo marole se fo lang mo mai lo fionga.
Ia telefon fa fele tu i la fionga ngafta si fui mono matina nai ia me se fo i la fionga ia lupotea. Ia me se lo fa sa songa Samoan nei tu la fia me se fo tanto po kala masan. Ia o le sports Talanoa i lungo tanto pro TV ia. So fo mo man lang ia masa mo. Ia telefon tu nei tu la laso.
Malo faftai. Talofa Junior, busy weekend again at the PNC, yeah?
Talofa lava me, yeah, maro lava soi fu mau, lang me ma. It's really nice to be here again. Lots have happened, big week of rugby and lots of sports, not only here in New Zealand and the Pacific, but our women over at the Rugby World Cup too. So it'll be there's lots of emotion I see from Ramsey's speech about getting them there and their journey. So it's going to be good to talk about that.
A totale yo I tato o to tonga o talonga. O se mata upu no mawhawhawla wha muli. A le lau tano I mei lumalanga le o le asusane o le asautama. It's Father's Day Sunday, weekend this upcoming Sunday. Let's talk about, I just want to ask a question. What is one memory of your father that still lives within you to this day and it's something that you share with your children?
Yeah, whaftai lava mo le whanua. That's a really good. I have had so much good memories of a supportive father, a father that was a God-fearing father that loved his wife, my mother, and was a hard worker in the community, and particularly our church in PIC Newtown in Wellington. And my dad was not only a hard worker, but he drove buses and he was a taxi driver. But I think the most important one that always reminds me, and I tell my children, was the time that you're waiting for your dad to come back from work, from the taxis, and you're sitting there and you wait at night, and I was waiting one time for him to come home, and then because he'll have maybe a chocolate or a can of some Coke, a bottle of Coke, and then we'd just have a little drink before I go to bed. But he never came home, and I fell asleep close to the window. But I heard the taxi, the car was still going, and I thought, oh well, Dad didn't come, and there was sunlight, and then I ran downstairs to see him, and he was sleeping on the wheel after working all night. He was so tired he couldn't even turn off the car and come upstairs. And I just really remember how hard working my father was for us at home. And I share that story with my children that, your grandfather, he loved us so much, he used to work really hard. Both of them did, my mother as well. But that story would always remember, and it always remembered to me that, I can always work hard for my children. I need to be able to do that so I can do something better, so my children are better than I had become. So that was one thing that I always remember. But there's lots of good things that he was a funny man, but that one there just really showed his love for his children.
Ano, homo.
Yeah, ta o te foi sili le o fa sili no fionga ngaftasi fui bono. Yeah, mi sa ta tu tama man tu foi wa le ho tu le maftanga male. Masio tama. O se tama ngalu e malos. O anga fai ngarenga o kamasa fai moli le tushi. Ia ko inga foi le kai mga ai misi ngarenga tu no pena. A palasi mai lai meio kalo. O le kwali fi ko inga meio kalo. Por kala sa o kala nga makola akala vea mai la ya una ko kala vea mai la se ka alunga o pola kapi po ka sau ore ke fa ko bang au ka ri pola ka vai nga mai o ngi lor ko au ai lor ko e ko nga u la au po le e ka ke anu la ka kamba o le fa le mo o ngai fo ko mo ngi lor ko ia las ko inga nga mo ke next to fo ia o sionga no sa ka alo sa mo lo mitusi la sa ko inga ka malo lo mitusi e fo ngau ko ko le wo fiu ka mai fo ka me I lo ko inga e wo le ko inga ye mo ko ma e ora ku lo fa to ina fo o ke musu ke sa ke wo ngo fo ka ro ka ma wo ka ko sa mo akala vea mai ka no e ko e ngau le la au ya kai ka e pe ngai man ko sio ka ma ai wo ke ina le kai milo le po la la ngi kas o vili ale sa mo ke ro ka ma le fi pe ma ka alu mai ai mana wa o ngala ka au ka lo ka ma o fa ku mo ai ele o la ka ko ngai ai me ka ro ya ke o li po la ngi ka so vili fa pe so vili ai sio ka ma so kinga me sira fa mo yang o vili ko fa mai so kinga le mo sa ru ka ma va ma sa o fa yang langa ki fa yang sa mi ma fa ko i so kinga fa me la fa mai o ke alu le paka se e sa o tike ke alu e maka ka aula o va o se o kangi po nga le la so nga lo ko le poku fa pe ke foro ka mai ni fi me la kapi ai kangi lo ko fa mai o ma foro pe ka lo fa jo ka ma polare o mi le kiu o yesu al tikera e pe o ku langa o le pe o ri po la langi nga sui ma foro ka ma mingi ka lo nga o inga le si me yo la kapi e wa lo la kapi so ya ka la kula si ko fa o la mo le ka lo ka mo le o la mo le ka lo se ka ilo fo le coach a mi si ana pe vai ni le ka lo io pa ni ma o la mo le ka lo pa ni o fa vai e tama o la e fa ya o e pikinga e pe o si la nga kula fo nga mo ku la si o ka ma fo i le fi ka lo a pe o avangi le ipulo la ngi ka si o fia ya la si o ka ma fo nga mi ka no me ku angela mafukanga mo shokinga oi fiu so ka mai fa la la ingoro o sko inga fanga lue a fa ya kulo ya shokinga fa kulo lo mo ku sko inga se ku pe fa la fa kulo sko inga la nga va ku mo ko oi ka lo mo ku yo ke lo fa la so ka ma ho e uma ka lo mo ka ma e sa fa la inga so ka ala nga lo mo ko e ke le fa la e pe yo o ikulanga au ke le mai foi la lo ka ma fo fa pe o kali sio kinga o ko ai nga fa la e fai la fai sio ka ma ia
best going
ia pe yo ngai kulanga nga mo ko ia sio ka ma au le si tulanga lo ka ma le fi me yo o celebration foi le pe fai a kusia so fa o sio ke ka be o sa fa o le ka kong palang o me nga palang ya power me fa fkai de o bo le ola mal maros kelingi aso aka ke fa ko lai next to sorry ke ka fia pe ya sia mu ya la ka miki la fa no ma fa o pa ma ni la me ne o lo ngila o fa ngala o ya ma la fa o ma sangi fo la fa o me ya fa pe ale o ko pe calma fo fo fa o old school la ko ingo fi o fa ko la fa e simple ala fingo me fa pela veila o le ke fie ya o nga yo como o le o follow o la ye xa fa ngo o fa fingo fie yo fingo fa ngo o fa ngo o fe me kia mai o ke fie lo mekton o ke fie lo chochipa ya ngo ko ave ye e se valvalin mo fa ka umri ke supermarket ki ave fa le ya fa lo como fingo fie e pe o sina tu lo kama e o school fo ngale ko ali manga o me e fa ko lo was par
I thought I was the only one that used to do that. We do the same thing.
Sina me man ko fo ye so kama fo le ai si fo le ka o mo la wa ke ngo fo si kai mi ko ma fo fo e ka ni lo ko fo le pa ka ko ma fo
It brings me back to ilo songoanga whangari. You were talking so cheerfully about your father. Reminds me of Officer's Ilo Pute's first show, where he spoke about his parents watching your first test match at Manu Samoa. And it's something that you always remember vividly, the faces of your parents. For me, my dad, it was tough love. Os kanka voi akalango me kia. It was very meaningful what he had to say, other than the okay. And one of the things that I remember is that there was a time in my life where I was doing nothing, and he told me, like, son, stop mucking around. Ole ke miele koe maua. You're meant to be better than me. And like that stuck with me, like thinking that I was given the opportunities that he never had, given the life that he never had. And I'm really grateful for our fathers, because, and our mothers too. But, ese wele saul ki ngā, ese wele saul ka mā. Yeah, want to say happy Father's Day to all the fathers on Sports Talanoa. That's tuning in. We're going to jump straight into the updates of last weekend's matches. First on our list, we're going to go to the Pacific Nations Cup between Fiji and Tonga. Fiji beat Tonga 32 points to 10. Sa whaelita alonga o le Pacific Nations Cup I le wā whiti ma le au Tonga, man mā lo le au whiti ai tosu lua I ai se fulu Tonga. Ia, a tonu la tatu atu ia ai lupotea. Ia, langa oele sa whasa lau le ta alonga, la sova ai le au Tonga.
Yeah, so the game was played in Suva. Conditions looked a little bit windy. We've played over there on the National Stadium, me and Moa, many years ago. But the landscape, that when that wind comes off the water, it can be quite tricky if you're playing with it or into it. You can see that the Fijian team were a little bit more organised, but they were under a lot of pressure early in the game, as we can see at the first try there by Augustine Pulu, another former All Black that's been involved in adding value to Tonga. May I say, even when the team list, there's a couple of key players that were missing. The skipper, Ben Tomiafuna, I think his inspiration was missing out there, but there was a lot of nice play by Tonga, but the Fijian team just looked dangerous anywhere. Whether it's a scrum, 5 metre scrum, line out, they were going out, or in midfield, they just looked like they could score off anything. And I think that in some cases, Tonga, they just defended so well, but probably stopped it from going a little bit further out than 32 points. I think they were probably another 20 points stronger. But Tonga, I just thought that Tonga's defence was really good, but they've got a really nice balance, Fiji, of power in the forwards. Their set piece look good. They've got nice inside halves with their halfback and first five, and their outside backs. I mean, the ones that came on, the firepower that they have is from 1 to 23. They're a very dangerous team.
Oh, more?
Mone le ia ia lupte ole tulanga ne sei mano sikele skala mo fiki na tamine te fiki ia Tonga I skala e peila tulanga na ole si tula e once wo ia e alu le polo wide folia open space o nga no dangerous ke le finka ke lenga ga pui ko ngole ia ma se fot pu ngole ole ka longa pe speed mo ngi e fiki ia e wa skali nga fiki ole avongo vo le mo ia le foi la o le mangela score foi fiki score o le o whanganga polo handling o ngale ball in hands ia mai a me si foi la ia le line outs le foi o line outs fiki o le umio fiki foi ngale le foi o kongi ana ko huka si nga le nga mo le nga mo kaptengi a lo ko foi si ko o ka o ke le ia set pieces ia e pena o kulanga nga mari malo si fiki o si kulanga le mo malo si fiki
I remembered watching a lot of the skill kick pass and some of the alignment, and they've got their coach Mick Byrne, who used to be part of the All Black setup. Very good coach, and so he's just adding value to the natural flair of Fiji rugby, but they're just making their percentages a lot tighter rather than just too much one touch. You used to seeing throwing the ball, but they've got really good structure on their play.
Mele kemi ngulua ka alo foi mamale aule o fiki. Ia ole se me fole ko nga flele ka alo fiki. I ko foi kemi. How did you guys handle that kind of play?
So that was especially when I played. I learned from the boys like with Almoa and Andy and all the other players that have played against them many times, and they just said, you just got to beat them physically. That'll take out their flair, because if you're physical with them, then they're just watching you every time. That's the only thing, and that's what we did. If you're physical and you're being up front with the ball and without the ball, that'll take away their flair, because they'll always be watching you coming. And like go for it, even though a pasi lo polo, you still follow through with the tackle, because you're taking out the support player. If you miss the tackle, he's going to come back and get the second touch on the ball. So that was really important. It was a real technical and a strategy that if you go through the tackle, you make the tackle, take that player out of play, and so that he's not going to come back and support.
Ke mia ko ka alo mawhiki. Who was one player that you were struggling to either outrun or defend?
Ia, e ke lea sui foi players kai mio mai ei me se fala ole afiki ele pe o isi avonga pe New Zealand o ka ko ho sa ke le ko mau ho ya back line e pe ya len ka o e chechi ora ai kia le fai ma ko I ma kwa pingi al po mo inga I fa fe inga I put off fonga le mercado a sa le ya o fiki ko ulo le vongo le fiki le support player le fiki ma le fie le open game finka ia once lo ke wa mok mam lamale o fiki fiki le ile mele le physical la mar contact ko e ka ke fiu al me ko mai ya ko e pe yo le se senga na o ma ko wa ai ki fa back line ko pingi o le se fiki e ka wa nganu lalo au ngi ku o lunga wa nga fiki le kelele le offload le pa anga pingi la va pingi ave lalo ko ila ele ko e o.
What does Samoan need to do differently in tomorrow's match against Fiji?
I think we talked about it last time. All starts from the Sivatau. I've seen little snippets them over here now, over in New Zealand. I think there might be over in Rotorua now. The weekend needs to be detailed. I mean, it's going to be physical. They know that's going to be a physical match. To make sure that we win that set piece, it's just the detail on how they're going to play the game, because like we talk, it's going to be physical, but they need to make sure they deliver and execute the gameplay or the physical nature of what it needs to be. That set piece, that first scrum, that first line out, that first tackle when they come off the line, it needs to be 10 times, 100 times better than what they've been doing before, because they need to make sure they stamp their mark on. Well, this is our home game, not yours, and so. It's a we talk about it a lot, more, and this really is a mental one, but they got to be able to execute that physical game as well.
We are better than Fiji. The
mindset.
Yeah. Ale pe ya mafak mumu. Ole mekaua ku ilalo. Picha ko la makanga. Pe ya len foi mai fo ia chechi set pieces la vaca. Wa ale le ia ka koskala mu malai na. Le foi ka ko pui. No inga a foi. Easy came ya fiki. But ia ke ola ko. Ke le mo mano ka ko pa fa pe. Everybody knows what they are going to do. Ole for game plan. Ya mali si me wa ka wenga la ko ka penga. Afa pe ko la wo lo ko ele we. Ya kom fai e suise si ai kiem fai on break ile line fai on ka ko score.
Okay. Ole si talonga mata inga le Pacific Nations Cup ole talonga le va ya pangima kanaka. Japan beat Canada 57-15. I'm not sure if that's the highest score that Japan has gotten over Canada, but that was an impressive match as well.
Yeah, it was an impressive match. I called the game with Whaono Ken Laban, the mayor. Keep running for your vote for your mayor if you're in the hunt in Wellington. And it took a while for Japan to get on top, but that was a strong Canada side. They were their basics. They did basics very well. Strong carry, strong set piece. Tackling was good. They just probably lack a little bit of creativeness on back play, some of their game structure, but they were tough. They had a very good kicker. Their game was mainly of a first five. The left footer that would kick all the time and put them under pressure. But then the Japanese team was just good tempo. Warner Dern, the captain, he led it really well, tall, winning the set piece. The forwards were good, but it took a while for them to grind Canada down. But again, that Japanese team looked good. Canada beat America before, so that's a really tough pull at the moment. But you can see that that Japan are becoming more dangerous. How quick ball. I mean, if you're not going to beat them and stop the ball physically, they've had a couple of boys there. That was Fakatava who was playing at number 8, and he had a strong game. And there's a few of those other boys that are not born in Japan, but they're contributing they come from the Pacific Islands.
Yeah.
The Lessing Samoa, Osaka. That's where they come from.
Osaka Uko.
That's right. So so that's a really good Japanese team.
Le koinga kalo le se vol level o sapangi. Le speed o kalonga o le skillful o la set pieces o le makua le ya pangi. Le peo inga le ma le fitness la ya pangi.
Top.
Mela nga le wo struggle ke le au ia le fo I lungo le kulanga le wo ya pangi. O le makua fia ya pangi le running game mo le fa nga o caps mo spaces ia.
All over Ayo Muama Elupotea. I don't know. I'm just calling it right now. I think eongo final ya pangi ma fiki if they continue with this play.
I think it wouldn't be too far off. I think they'd probably be in that final. I still think that Samoa will win on Saturday. I truly believe they'll win in Rotorua, but I still think that Fiji will go through.
Yeah.
But Japan, I mean, the coach, Eddie Jones, I mean, they've got good coaches there that are, and good people around them that they've hired. And I see Dan Bowden is also part of the assistant coaches. So their game suits them. And teams like that, it's almost very similar to Fiji. You've got to cut their wide game. Outside in defence, you've got to shut them down, force them come inside, and force them into your big tacklers. Yeah. And that's what teams like that you need to do and defend, and I think that's what Samoa needs to do against Fiji on Saturday.
Ia, o le tālonga nei la tato atu iai o le tālonga le o le vāo engelangi ma Samoa i le au leo tamaitai sa whaapea na manmalo le au engelangi i le iwa sulua ai i le tolo o Samoa. Ia, ai lupotea le so matamate for le tālonga le weekend.
Very tough game for our girls. I was really proud of them, to be honest. I mean, this wasn't about the result, the scoreboard. Yes, of course, it's a World Cup and you want to win. But I was really proud of them. They never gave up. They got off the line and they made their tackles. I think the score wasn't a reflection of the team. I think the score was a reflection of how many good individuals England have. But our team, girls, look, they're on the line. They got off the line. They made their tackles. And just those little offloads, they were a bit hard and they finished because they had some good speed and good finishes. But I was really proud. The thing I was really proud, they competed the whole time, and especially the penalty they got. Yeah. To get that 3 points, those are the biggest 3 points in the history. Those 3 points tell a story there's been a making of for years and years. And I think we saw the press conference with Ramsey at the end and how emotional he was. Pretty much said it all, but nothing but pride for our Manusina girls, and hopefully they're not too injured that they can finish the competition well in their last game.
O le atatoa tu vavaaile le kilipi le coach o tamaitai, me Coach Ramsey.
Yes, I do want to thank England, thank the supporters. Our girls have worked really hard to be here. To walk off the bus and be applauded as the team walked in. Our girls deserve that so much. So that made me a little bit emotional seeing that, because we've never had that. We've never had the opportunity to play in a stadium of 14,000, last week as well. So, and so that's, I think that contributes to, where we're at in terms of if you have a look at our fixtures we had this year, we probably played in front of not many people. And to be able to do that, we didn't play enough games and we knew that. But, I just want to thank the England crowd, thank, the Small Cup for, allowing us to be here, and, thank some of you reporters in this room that are writing the story about us belonging because of what we bring. Our culture, we carry our families. So I mean, it's just been a fantastic World Cup in that regard, and so I don't want to take it away from our girls. Like, we know the result, was out there. We had a goal to keep it under what was last week's score, but and if we get to 90, that will be okay. So I know that there was worry there that the score could get to triple figures, and and I know people have been talking about, is that good for the game or not? But what's good for the game is that we're here and we can get better. And as opportunities happen, and I'll be moving into a space and hope.
Yeah, more or less so whafongi for le saunga le coach.
Yeah, whainka kelenga isi whaiaunga ngā whakaria ia kulanga fwoi. Ai, mua wako whamano fwoi I aluma whanau fwoi o tātou ule olo whapenga o ka wingar ka oi I le aule a ka maika. Ia o lako kaimia whaavongo inga. Ia mese fwoi le lako ngau e whailako mawe fuka ka kokungo. Ia mese fwoi le sunga le whaiaunga. Le whaingofie fwoi le karianga wonga sunga le whaiaunga o le le whaingofie ka pingpenganga. O le fwoi o ke maunga fwoi angai ka kanua fwoi mangisi fwoi. Ia, e ke leangi me kaunga whale ia ma. E le ngaka fwoi la le ka alungu mala. Ia, ke le me e le mwhai on whakingo ingo wal ka pinganga ngai kenge ma le lako ka mwhai ngai kongo le. Kasi ngā me se fwoi le a whainga fwoi mawhawhau o ka ngaka alu. Pe ale le ia ka pinganga I kua o me. E se a le malai. E se fwoi kua o me kaunga. Ia e ngā uka ko ki kiloku ye. Ia e ka mwhai na vanga I kenge le mwhai. E le whapeo ke wau fwoi a me o wha vai isi kaimi a. E ui a ke lesi koa fwoi a au ia pe o skaria maingirangi. Ai le mawhainga ka wau koa vai e ia ngai ka mai kai le whakingonga ka alo.
I take my hat off to the girls. It's a big ask, and also, their history in the making. Their first time in the Rugby World Cup. Yeah,
I had a sense of pride watching them, and it reminded me of Moa and the boys in 91. And if that doesn't inspire all the Samoan girls to come and play for Manusina, I mean, they were so not only good rugby players, but great ambassadors for Samoa. And just the way they've been working off the field, and they've been engaging with the community. It should inspire all our young Samoan girls to, give Samoa a crack. Go for the Manusina.
Upcoming game between the All Blacks and Springboks. How do you think it's going to lay out?
If we have a dry, hard, fast track, Eden Park, normally every time when there's a big test match at Eden Park, it rains. It rains hard, and it becomes up the guts, short ball, one off the ruck type of rugby. I'm pretty positive that other than our key area of halfback, and there's been a lot of speculation, even more injuries at halfback. Young Preston come in, he's rolled his ankle, so there's talk of getting Aaron Smith back. I'll just put Whakatava to the side here because I think he should be the next one in, but we can talk about that, why he's not been involved in. But for the game, for me, I'm pretty confident that we've got the strong team, and sometimes when adversity comes, when you're in that jersey, in particular that All Black jersey, when everybody thinks that you're not going to win against the world champions, they're going to do a great job. I just have that feeling, and I know that even though Adi is not leading, you'll see him lead by action at the front, in particular with those forwards. So my prediction, I think that the All Blacks will win by a bonus point.
O more or less over the line-up a kule All Blacks. Mai loko for wiki o.
Yeah. Ola e mai lawa yusina pe ang ka fo ye chechi le halfback. Okay, long for le ngon le ya le shine for le umbele vale. Mo ngolo le mo. Aung ko ko. Yo wai ele kai shoki yusina ke lo o place le. Ai lawa uya ka ko. O pau ala le malai New Zealand le mawhainga malo o si au yang New Zealand. O Eden Park. Nanga wa umanga whamangwia e kau mātua. Ioi. Ma...
Le Ngāti Whatua o Rake.
Ia misa kata Pasifika. Mo ia nau kana. Langa ele suia Eden Park o lea whaila o kana. E me ilo le malai le o Eden Park I se si me whai ai. Le koe malo holo Blacks. Ai la kia wala koe. E malo holo Blacks. E le kai malo ia whirika kāronga.
Yeah. Who are some key players that we should be watching out for?
Well, I think our starting 15 speak for itself. I mean, it's good that Fletcher Newells is starting. That tight five is good. It's good that they've got Tupuvai at lock. Interesting to have Parker at loose at 6, but you know, you got size there, and again now we got Wallace. This will be a good time. He hasn't had a greater start, but I think he needs to start the game rather than coming off the bench. I think it's quite clear that he's not very good coming off the bench. He likes to get his hands on the ball, get those first carries, and then once he feels the game, he's in the game. And so I think that's a really nice combination of a forward pack of power and pace. And then we've got our back line again. I think, you know, with Finlay there, it's going to be quick rucks.
Yeah.
So that ball's going to be at pace and speed, and I think we're going to try and run them off their feet, because that'll be a big pack that's coming against us, the South African packs. But then we've got our finishers there. Good at Nawara is getting a chance. Again, Pokta is also getting another chance there, and then our wings are strong, and of course we've got Will Jordan in the back. So that's a solid team. The difference probably this game is going to be the last 20 minutes and the impact of the bench. And so, you know, the strength of the bench has always been something that's been something that I always look at that's going to finish the game. And that's, you know, the last times there's going to be 1 or 2 points in it. So it's going to be the same for this game, maybe. But I'm pretty confident they're going to blow it out more than 1 or 2 points, the All Blacks.
Ia oke o leo ka kolo mai ka ngona langi a Afrika te ia o la ko wale le top le kai mingi best in the world o fia la ko bo ka pu mano fa ya so o kai mingi o la e mo ia le lunga le gumel ka singi sila ai o kala ngoa ka ka ile ia le foko mai le la ko afa le ka mapologi le half back le Afrika ile fingo fia fo la Afrika o le mai fo la mai Afrika. E mai foi ia Afrika mai e malo yang New Zealand. Awa a misia I Eden Park. E koi foi la kala me no kan mai e chi foi le new players ia. Ole si me ne o le vango mai ka winga chi mai I le Crusaders mai le Chiefs. O foi le franchise e se lo vai e umanga le Super Rugby. O ka alo umai la ko players. Even the new ones. O le system la ne o ke vai kunga le o le vang o mai kaua a wana wai a ola kai me la ve ia la ko place e ko akula la ko kama foia me o ele pela o si franchise e ka ko le plus mai si o e stika ile aule masangi ka alo a o lo la ve e akula kama ia
the next one is just as good
never la ke vai Kele loe pe ke sa pe ke se ke o pe ma ke yanga o ko o le va kele o kilo le mele o ke fia kele le mele fa ile o le Crusader sa va o le va la ko fa sa we fo le Chiefs e o manga o ka alo uma new players o fa pelo se kele le manga yo fa ngol mele a o lo la ve la ko key players e fio la ko la ko players le vola ke vai kula pela o ka unga le foi mai chi kamale o paka le wa le wa starting fia ia venga ka pe for meeting sa oi Wallace a maka mai welcome
remember Christian Leo Willie so there's another one that I thought he might have been in that mix
she wa fa ko o mai foi so ole system nga no ke on ki kilo e mai le Crusaders mole Chiefs le la lenga de le ya au ia ai fa ne kongwana ia o kilang o ngai fa mo au kilang e la ko top la ia se ia ai au lo lang la ve mo kwa le fa ka ke le feel in le cap
that's right
o la o ia nga mai ka o ku ia
yeah. Well, All Blacks versus South Africa is on tomorrow. Some of these important facts is that All Blacks hasn't lost at Eden Park since 1994, and the Springboks haven't won there since 1937, so it makes tomorrow's game very much more interesting. Also, we're on the verge of Artie Savea's century milestone. So congratulations to Artie Savea. La kako le malolonga, tato foi mai te whao tato pokalami. Ole mataupu la tato talanoa nei segment. It's the rise of Fiji rugby. Are they the Pacific's new benchmark? Wanga whakolo ukalale, it's like ulo vae kula e fiki. It could become the next Argentina. And the way that Fiji is going as well within the Super Rugby, within their international test games, I'm seeing that the gap between Fiji and Samoa and Tonga is just going bigger and bigger, that one day we won't be able to beat Fiji anymore.
Okay, si se ngala la so ngala fui mono. Rewa fa pe mai la pei fiki o Argentina. So fa pe la fa pe la o fiki pe o Samoa. Ma fui li malo Argentina ya Samoa le World Cup. Ele malo fiki ya. So le level le ngai mo moka ko.
That's right.
Le la o
So
fiki.
true.
Yeah.
No, foi Argentina le mo kula Argentina. E fa lua e World Cup e o ki Argentina. So le level nga le ka o ko fiki. Ya o ese la level le ka ko ai sa le ya no so ngwa. O ese mo lungo level le fiki ya. Onga porque ele foi lá com o player se ele lei au ia makala pula e fa foi que o player a que não foi a engla com o local player se pecou like a que ele foi o le sau com o le lá com Super Rugby le lá com true le e pe o ingane o fit mai e que o player se a fiki ia o lá com au foi o que lá kama le ka lo skari ma ko
Nga whero susu e ngā whonga le pala le. How did Fiji get into the Super Rugby? How come Samoa and Tonga never got their own teams? But, you know, long story short, and that research is like, the reason why Fiji was able to do this is because they had the financial backing of a lot of businesses and also their government. And they also had the population of 1 million to they're able to get returns as compared to Samoa, where we only have a population of 200. We don't have a strong backing of financials. So Moana Pacifica was formed for Samoa and Tonga because Samoa and Tonga are in the same predicament in terms of financing.
Well, there's a commercial entity that's involved. I mean, you look at them, Fiji Water is a major, I mean, that's almost a $1 billion industry there of just water. We used to have that, Apia Water once upon a time. I'm not sure that was on front of the Samoan jersey. And I remember my dear friend, rest in peace, Dylan Mika was always involved in that, and our brother there, Pali'i Tele Peter Fitz. I remember that being everywhere with Samoa Water. So just on those commercial partnerships that they have, which helps to be able to bring their players into the best facilities and get them in the best competitions. And we know that man for man, if we had the same facilities, that I back our Samoan teams to play much better rugby. We've got the best ideal rugby players the world. I mean, not anybody else, and I might be a bit biased on that. But when we were in the best competition, Super Rugby, we were certainly there in sevens and involved in. And I think that we might have missed only because we're missing out on competitions. I think I might have mentioned that we missed out on going overseas on those tours. But we've got a lot of good players spread out in Europe, in the UK, obviously in Super Rugby as well. That is probably, you know, that would put against any team under the pump, even Argentina, you know, and we've already proven that. Like you said, we've already done that. Some of those other teams haven't done that. They don't get the right to say that they're growing, because until they have gotten to that quarterfinal, then, you know, we're still, I believe, are still there. But we just need to get our act together. What that looks like, I'm not sure.
I like that. Omo?
Ia o te misalo le tūranga le o ifiki o Afrika kui ai ka ko ki kilo pe ya le mele nga ulo le safa ulo ko la ufiki o la si fulu afe le me le skala ile au kongo le kamisanga le Super Rugby ia pe o le koe fo ila se kana o pe o le kupe al kulanga le o ki kilo ye ia a fa pe kai lo ye o le la o misia ka ko le avo le sa ia le kompagi le se mai ko fe anga o mai kai mingi o la ye mo ke mesalo o le o sa mo le ku mo o le vanga ile ono le o menge na kapi ko ki kilo le la e o vangi sila le o kai mingi o la vai poringi sila i le kau su enga kulanga yo se le ngi mo tu pe a ka ko le vanga mo ye le kampagi le sa so sangi mo ka ko ye mo fa pengi o la ko ki ka aluanga sa mo ko o le afole o le Super Rugby kai mingi e ka o ke le ka ko pe le ka o e rupo le ka ko ka alo fa fo tu ma kulanga inka ko ye ka ko mo me o super 8 super 10 ye sa wo la ye le o ka misanga inka ko mai o mawolunga ka ko ai fa pe la o le wo sa ngo fo ni ya e ke le no ma si se le ngi e ka ka ngo fa ye au sa mo o kongo Super Rugby ma le level o la ka
Well, we kalango me Sir Michael Fate, who invested in Manu Samoa, and I believe that was the time that they turned it to Manu Samoa Limited. Mankualan ka ko faso fo nga fima le sifo uso. How the program allowed the players who came on scholarship professionally looked after, and they had development programs back home. Anga fa pele ko se ia ko le malo Manu Samoa fese me ke no o ngo ko kula I mengiki
ko fo I ka ko rugby ungi ia le wa sa le ia anga fa pe ku mau mer kai mingi le sa no e se le mako ri kai mingi e le fa pe ngal Manu Samoa sa le sa ka ngo mo fo lu so le anga finga ko filo o le manga ia nga mau mai ava ngo mai ko sipi mai la ko a fa mai e ia kai me e contracta ko la ko le e kampagi nge se mai ko fei fo le Manu Samoa limit o mako ia ku se penga o le sa ngo le Manu Samoa limit e contracta ko ka ngakengi ia mai fo na ko ni vai su ya onga e lu sa o le process ma fai ngo me le mo mau anai e su umala vai pule a onga fai nga mai ka mai se o mai maka ka nga pa do ko sipi le nga mai fia o kala lu so la nga fio la ko fia o pe o le la o ka mi le eu ko mi te la ko yo wa mo yo mai le wa se a o nga yo mai lo South Island o lo I le apa no Island ya po mai nge ki la ma e lu fo nga le wa lo ngo ku ya le kampania mon sa mo le ya le la e fa mai ka mi chole ma ke o mai la ko ngole Kopa box foi. Porra, se mesmo que o que ia lá com ali ele vai lá com e uma foi coi o moni lá com e a o porca lá me mai dessa sa kam fai mai le companhia le lá o co que quilongue mais facile mai ka o que bo misia ka ko vongo ia
What a team we would have had if we still had that kind of investment, that kind of billionaire looking after Manu Samoa. Do you think that's what we're needing?
Well, we need to do something. I still think the under-20s competition is really important to be feeding into our Manu Samoa program. Whether that looks together with Moana Pacifica team and whether we can get them involved in that, because it's just getting them into the system that they can really understand and have rugby, that rugby education, you know, the IP that they want to learn from what they did back in Faye Richwhite. Yeah, it was a wonderful program and some good outcomes come out that went back to Samoa to feed the Samoa rugby. I suppose now it's about, because I think that the Samoa under-20s are still in the trophy competition, so they've gone back from championship to trophy. Need to build that up and get them, and also the profile of players. We're always missing in locks. Yeah. We don't have those tall. We're losing to basketball or some other game. So we need to find those profile of those 6'6" Samoan, big Samoan boys. And also we've got midfielders and we've got centres. We've got to build halfbacks and first fives. We've got to build fullbacks and kicking fullbacks, left foot, right foot. Those are the types of things that we need to do and figure out, and then we can put them into these programs.
Mai en meruka o e teiti. O le pre si o kako moanga kele fo ia kako prof mo huka sol
Kele.
kako vai ngi to mine te kako kamangi pasifika ia sa mo konga ia le huka ma o kako lokala ia isi me o kako lus fo isi me o kau o kau le o kele o lus fo le o nginga mo ave ni sila ai le ko mo mai ngal power kamale fai langi le ke va le on mai kamale fai langi e pe yo e ka o kele kulanga le ka o e chechi kai mini position o ku backline ko kele na nit la vanga i face 5 mo fu peki wingi fo isi midfield isi me le ka sio ki fo ka ko midfield e pe ese ka o me le ka ngo mai e chechi au kil mo ma o ye ka ko yo ia ma develop ka ko fe e mele fa so oi ka ko coaches o coaches ma
But I've watched, and this is only in Auckland. I've watched club rugby in Auckland, and I've seen play. And this is only in Auckland with the limited clubs, and they might not be the strongest club, but boy, they've got some really good players. And it's here's a Samoan. Look at the program. It's a Samoan boy, you know. And so the players are there. We just got to maybe cast a bigger net to go and find them, rather than just, you know, knowing, you know what I mean, because I don't think we're getting enough eyes out and really talent IDing on what we really need. We just, other than just say, oh, he's good, and only just looking at a few places. And I'm talking in Invercargill, you know, down in Queenstown and Wellington. There are so many of our players that are playing good rugby that we are not capturing them.
Yeah.
Well, picking of many players, aku asisiku, pero ang lucky tip. Pa o wala ki ele but e ka mai ki mga mi ale lenga ka ko developing fai kene mi ku na penga kele ka mai o mai o vo ya chichi still passionate about the game o le coach foi nga ye awa nga kai mingi yo kele ka mai fa kai nga la ka ne fa ya ku pe ka mai mai lata it was no way nga picking in you sila au ya ngo anu ku foi os ka ri lakpidik pe fo le wa ngela
Yeah, look at him now.
Lo fio, si dia. Ole me pe fonga le ke vai mona lo ye. Eu mangi wa, me la le kat kongoi. O kele kat kong foi fa pe o piki ka ka ne ele le mo ka maki. Pe ale le onga develop mo. Nga lu e ia ka ko yungi ku no pe nga. It become a better player.
Well, we all, you listen to the passion now. We all want the best for Samoa rugby. You know, it's just how do we bring it all together? That's the key, and because there's a lot of, like, I know the Manusama old boys. They understand what the culture is. I learned from them, and so they can pass it on and help with what it means to be a Manusama player, and to get that cap and to be part of something very special. That is sitting there too. That I still think that's not utilised well enough. But the players, we just need to just have a little bit more open mind of finding where they are, rather than just looking the same places.
Olo wa ia mga kufai my final thoughts about le kako whaasua, le klaime o whikile o klaime. Well, if I break it down to three, whongale, one o loko songsonga, came through the Australian side, sao me kongo le Super Rugby. Two, o le lei o loko controlling o loko finances ma me whapenga. They changed the whole structure so that World Rugby would be able to back them up. And via World Rugby, e koe maori return me i pe ave a whiki versus Samoa and Tonga. My other point that I want to stress out is that we need another Sir Michael Fay. Someone who can come in and take control of the Manu Samoa with the finances. Build the development that needs to be built, starting from the grassroots level all the way up to club level. We need that structure back, because they can't do much if they don't have money, and that's where we need someone with deep pockets.
Nai mangku fol ka kumalanga ya mi ia foi ngana ku felo e manisi foi o uso ta tai longa fol ka longa ia ma ngisi fo ka ko uso ma alo foi pisingisi sa mo o kala ngo mai foi mai ele se foi ka O le mea leo le. E fia fisosoangi. Ai longa. Rea kala mo ia lea. Le voen ka ko kala ngoe ma ngai kanga. Ke le lau fai pisingisi la Amerika. E fia o mai. E fia ko umar ku pengi. Al manga i vo la kala ngomai. Fa mai ke le aikia. Te fai ai le. Fundraising. Kari ana ko ma. Awal mea. Al ponga ne wo longi. E makua pole ala ko le. Ka ko lak piungin me le. Le ka ko kala ngosa o. Le po pole la ko. I le ka ko lak piungin. O le le. O le whainga ma le wa ainga o ka ko players ma le developing o lakpi. Al mea sao. O lo whakarikali mai ia ke leo o ngai kanga kai whapisingisi Amerika. E fia o mai e.
Kumeno ko kau au ma.
E peila o le tūlanga na fole a wai. E mungi le ia. O ana waka ko ngau aku. Ia, ka peila le mene o oifiki. Anga ne o ese umana vale por fiki le ngai. Le ngau ko ese umalo. Suilo. Le voenga ko ai ku foi la foi mai ni poki le World Rugby fo ngani afiki mo ka mo bon mai siki. E le ngau ese lo kangi. Ia na no ese le running ala wo ia le. Ia le yunga fiki. E pe o le kulanga pe ona e sau no.
Final thoughts
Well, firstly, I'm still not sure if you missed my phone number, why I didn't go to America with you. And next time. Is that next time? Okay. Just make sure you got my phone number. Secondly, I think I might have made that point maybe a couple of shows ago, that those tours to the UK are really important.
Yeah, the Europe
because you can take a delegate to go over there, and while the game is playing, because our brand is huge. The Manu Samoa brand is massive. And it comes with warriors, you know, and who doesn't want to align themselves with warriors, our sivatau, all those wonderful things that brings our brand, our Manasau brand together. But at the same time, when they're going on tours and playing some good rugby, and then they can go and have these really good commercial meetings together about, you know, partnerships moving forward. I mean, that's going to be something that we can take it to a parliamentary level, or we just have your people that are working inside at the rugby union. But ultimately, if you want to make it, starts on the grass. You've got to play some good rugby, because if you play good rugby and you have the right mind and getting the right people around you, our product is on the field, and then the rest will take care of itself. I guarantee it. But we just got to come back to our identity of the Manu Samoa, hard tackling, open rugby, good skills. We know our boys, our sivata, all those wonderful things that people want to. I want to align with it. I want to, just like Wrexham. What was that guy? Ryan Reynolds. That story of the soccer team, and Wrexham soccer team, and he just saw something, and then he just poured all the resources in, and that's what we need. But you know, instead of going out there, I think we need to still. Our product is our area of expertise is playing rugby, and we just got to do that better, and then people will come and jump on board with us.
And we've seen it with the government taking control back from Sir Michael Fay. Like, we've seen it now for decades. So maybe it's time to get someone who can financially not only contribute but also structure our union so that our players get the benefit that they need, the benefit that they deserve.
Yeah, after if mono, Paul to Ravona le Favole, Leo Fatava, Mancaco Pocalamia, Miss one of young Muliapoy, Alphamong young Montanto Monsamo, Safole Alotule, Talunga, ma Fitilas so Tona, the Payang Fayaku, Amacamea Sivacau, Yoi, Amacama Sivacau, I live up Pevole, Makua, a cook, yoi. Ava pe ngai wala au fa mai ke ia ke mpa ke ia yo o le ki lo ila yo ya ole o ko mamanga o pu masangi na mala ku yo le volo ngo fo kalo ia e o to wa to matua ya oni si fo o fa yo na to walo a me se fo i ka po inga ka ko ya mo ia la fa vai lo sunga fa ya un sunga kapteni ya me se le au tau o la ka winga ka o le mo tatu monsamo i fa pe fo la uni filo lo fa pe na ona ia alum whanau le ngata tātou Samoa. Ia whape hoi Pasifika, panu ia hoi le alot hoi alum whanau Samoa lo tonu le. O le au le au New Zealand All Blacks. Ia mo le whai ungar vai aso, Ia whape fo ia le aua tamaita a tonu e nisi o lato tālonga. Ia maleli sunga le whaia onga ia Ramsey ma le kapteni ma le au ia. Ia manu ia o tau whaiwa. Ia au pe le lot tele. Ia mantua pe ia nai tau matua ma ainga. Wale e whamoe moe o le whape na ona whianga i matato.
Ia, manatu lewa tato o mele si u o le tato pokalame. Whātai le sa mato whamatalanga, mole atu mato nganga whaftai. I le o mai moa mai nei tula le fiafi. Ia, e le lava se whaiva le asa ma le mau. Whamangalo me se maa sei, pe se a leo le mato pokalame. Se la manga fo sipa ma se nganga o sala o te aso aso tu vai malupo e nga i tō whina ngalo. E teipe o upu whele ngata i whale. E poto lava le tautai. Ai le a toe atu i alwhanga. Manatu rea la tama vai o manu nā o manu nei ia maulunga pelevi inga le tua ia tātou ma ia manuia te whasausanga le fiafi.